Hey guys, Thomas Goodymoot out here in the shop tonight. Going to be working on making a little bit of mokume. I'll show you how I like to go about doing it. So I have this nice little jig here that helps hold the quarters in place. It is 1/4 inch thick by 1.5 inches, and this one is currently 5 1/4 long. You don't have to necessarily have it that long, but what I like to do is just take the amount of quarters that you want. I have a little bit of all thread on each end here and a nut on both sides. This technique right here was shown by me by a good friend, Roy, over at Christ-Centered Ironworks. If you guys aren't already following him, give him a like. You'll also see me in a few videos over there. But yeah, so currently in this stack up right here is about $5.50, and I just squeeze it in between, get a nice pressure, and I'll be chucking that into the forge. While that gets a little bit heated up inside the forge there, you don't want to get it to a melting point. You want it to have it where it gets just a little wet look going on there. And it takes a little bit for it to heat up. But having a sandwich in between those two plates, I found that I don't have a sacrificial end bit on each of my billet. I will be using my fly press. This is a number 5. Guys, I am keeping it directly out from underneath the flames, and it's more just a nice controlled heat. I like to get my forge up and warm before chucking anything in there. I would like to show you guys what it looks like in there, but my camera don't really. And this is where I like to leave it clamped up, and I'll take my wrench and I'll tighten that up so it holds it in place, and I'll go back in for one more heat on it. Here is when you are tightening down, don't go full hams on it because that all thread has been heated up, and so you can strip it out. You just want it enough where it's just snug, not trying to tighten it down with gorilla pull strength there. Usually on the second time you squeeze it down enough where you can work its way out. And right there, guys, is one billet. Now I can take this and I can hammer it down, flatten it out. My plan is I'm going to make another one just like this. Clean up the two sides. I'm going to stack those two and add more. Inside my contraption that I have here and the capability of my small forge here, I can't have it super wide. So I'm going to be making 2 of these, and I'll bring you along when I join the 2 together. So here we have it, the 2 billets together. I did go and I wire wheeled the 2 faces that are going to be meeting. So I make sure I don't have any forge scale or anything like that, or oxides with this copper touching. So I wire wheeled them you can sand them, but I got them together in this, and we're going to heat it up and give it another squish. This will be the initial set on the 2 billets together. So we're almost there. Wash on the 2 billets being married together. And there we have it, guys, the 2 billets together. We'll let that cool down. And it is quite interesting how bright the camera makes this out to be. It is really not that red hot. One thing I like to do after getting those 2 billets together is I'm just that now 1 billet. I put it in the forge. I'm going to let it get warm, not directly underneath the flames, off to the side. Rotate it every once in a while until it's all nice and hot. I'll be coming out and hammering it down with a heavier hammer just to really start to spread out. That's what I plan on doing with this, is making a sheet. So that's my plan for right now. This thing's about there. We're going to pull it out and we're going to flatten it down. And that right there will let you know if you got everything nice and secured. With my hitting on it, that's more of a jar. And if any of your fusions, I think is what it's more or less doing, not welding. If any of those are not that great, it'll pop apart. So, I like to come down nice, straight, flat on there. Just a little bit to give it a nice set. Make sure everything is in there good and solid. Guys, when making mokume, to get any type of a pattern out of there versus just being copper nickel, and maybe if you have some uneven hammer blows and when you go to sand that off, you may get a couple lines. But the one thing I like to do is I've done raindrop, that's where you take a drill bits at different varying sizes, drill at different depths, and when you hammer that flat, it disperses the metal out and you get a pretty cool little pattern. I'm trying something new, and I just happen to take my angle grinder with a cutoff disc and I cut a bunch of little nothing, set in there. This is going to be a completely random pattern, but there are different level depths and stuff. And so when I go to flatten that out, I'll get hopefully a pretty cool pattern in there. You want to do that when you're roughly about a 1/4 inch thick or so, and so you actually can get different depths in there. Or I like to say probably about half of whatever the thickness you're trying to aim for. So we're going to get this back in the forge and keep working at it. So there we have it, guys. Here's my little billet. I'll try to get some, maybe you guys might be able to see the pattern in there. Yeah, you can kind of see a little bit of a pattern. It's a little bit of a random pattern. But oh, right there. Now you guys can kind of see it a little bit better. I did do a little bit of a heat temper on, temperature colors, just so I could see what the pattern looked like. So, I appreciate you guys watching the video here. It's my first one, so try not to hate on me too bad. Love all of you guys. Remember, get out there, have fun. That's what this is all about. It's just having fun, learning some things. This right here, that pattern was my first time giving a go at it. So I was just having fun. So if you're not having fun out in your shop, well, maybe you need to rethink a few things, because forging should be fun. So thank you guys. Have a good evening. Bye.